Hello, hello, hello out there. Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to Bankroll Your Brains Thursdays. I'm Nicole Jones, the Bankroll Your Brains expert. Excited to be here with you for another Thursday of insight, tools, strategies so that you can get paid for what you know. So I'm beyond excited about our guest this week, but before we bring her on, I want to do a little housekeeping. So last week I had to pre-record because I was out of town. And I gave you strategies so that you're in the 20% of business owners who make it in regards to bankrolling your brilliance. And so I went back and read every comment. So I want to thank those of you that made comments. Hey, Frida. So a couple of things as you're coming in, I want you to say hello, right? How dare you walk in someone's house and don't say hello? Well, this is my virtual house. You're my virtual office. So come on in, tell me hello, tell me name and where you're from. So there's three areas we cover every time. One of the three. We have these episodes every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST. So to bankroll your brilliance, you need to do three things. One, you need to stand in the full power of your gift, your brilliance, that genius that's in you. The second area is really to understand the value that's tied to it, whether that's the value of your time, value of your gift. Oh, the value can go in so many ways. And the third is to actually learn how to make multiple streams of income from it. So as you all know, last week I talked about area three. So in case you missed it, hey, Frida in Buffalo and Tanya in Houston and Nick in Texas and Della. Hello, hello. Y'all keep coming in. So in case you missed it, I am starting today. I'm doing a free 5-week business school at 1 p.m. EST today. Now, for those of you that truly want to get the tools to get paid for what you know, I'm telling you this, I'm reminding you of this because it's free. I did this last year in COVID. And I got so many emails, people asking me to do it again. So I decided to do it again. So it's 5 weeks. It's, the next 5 Thursdays. Today is week 1. If you can't join live, then still register because you'll get access to the replays. How you register again is go, and it's scrolling there at the bottom of your screen, thebrillianceschool.com. So I'm going to walk you through everything you need from understanding what your purpose is, the value tied to it, everything, right? And so I'm not going to belabor that. You'll get more information there on the website. You'll see the theme for each week. And listen, I decided that I wanted to gift you with this. Actually, my coach thought I was crazy last year when I said I was doing this. But here's what I know. When you want to start a business, there's so many things that can come at you. And that's why I love this conversation today. And because there's so many things that can come at you, I want to give you tools. But the biggest tool is my guest today as we talk about letting go of mom guilt. Hey, Gwendolyn in Georgia and Linda in Ohio. Hello, hello. You guys keep coming in and saying hello. So our guest today is Andrea McCoy, who is a mom empowerment coach. Now, I've known Andrea for, probably 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. So I'm going to read her bio. Listen, every week I bring you someone that is in my camp because I see the work they do. And because I am really, really clear that there are certain things you need to in order to go after that next level for you. See, these episodes are not about who you already are. It's about who you have not yet become. So all my moms out there and daddies, don't think you don't have dad guilt, but moms have it worse. And so Andrea definitely is a mom's mom. She loves to see moms soar and become all they are meant to be in this world. She uses her HR, her human resources background, to hold the space for moms to start making moves today without the guilt letting them stop dreaming and stop doing and stop being. She believes that being intentional and finding a tribe that supports you will make the difference in moms taking hold to their dreams. This is why she also created the Moms Making Move Today podcast to support moms to move their dreams, their purpose forward. So if you don't have a pen and a paper, you better get one. All you moms that have guilt, that feel like all the stories you tell yourself, of not being a good enough mom keeps you from that dream, then Andrea is going to give you strategy to move that forward. So ladies and a few good men, please welcome Andrea McCoy. Hey, girl.
Hi. Hello, Nicole. I am so happy to be here today. Yes,
So
mom
excited.
guilt
And
is so real. Yes,
we
mom
were
guilt
talking about
is
this. So
real.
listen, 5 minutes before we go live, I always, talk to my guests because many of them I don't get to talk to all the time. So tell them kind of what you were sharing with me when you got on today.
I was saying it's a perfect topic because mom guilt is real. Yes, it does exist. However, mom guilt is normally a lie that we're telling ourselves in the sense of, hey, am I neglecting my kids? Should I be pursuing my dreams? Who is lacking because I'm doing so? So I'm with you. It is taking place. I still have mom guilt. It still creeps up. However, I just recognize and look at it differently. I know for me right now, I'm going through, okay, girl, what things can you let go? Because I have a tendency to say yes, 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 yes. And I'm learning not necessarily to always say no immediately. Like you don't have to go to the extreme and say no to everybody. Someone asks you something, text quickly, no. You're out of office, email, no. You don't have to go that far. However, I do say, be careful what you say yes to. And more importantly, when we're talking about mom guilt, make sure that you say yes to you.
That's good. So deep, right when you said that, what came in my mind is when you're flying on an airplane. So I got on a plane last week. It's been a while. Excited. I used to travel a lot. Those of you that know me. So the one thing they say to you is when they're teaching you all the things to do if something might happen, as they say, put the air mask on yourself first before anybody else. And what's interesting is most moms, and I'm saying this, look, I'm a bonus mom, right? Sorry, I'm trying to put my comments up over here. I forgot to do that at the beginning because sometimes this thing in here doesn't work. So listen, I'm a bonus mom. And when I first met my husband, can I keep it real? So when I first met my husband, I wanted to keep the man. Okay. Right. And I had never been a mom before. Right. And now I got teenagers. Now, those of you that are moms of teenagers, just have a moment of pause with me. Okay. So not only have I not been a mom, but now I got to go straight into the teen years. And so for me, and I do this already. I'm already a speaker traveling the world, right? So for me, I had to really, really get clear on what I was coming up for me. And so I want to talk about that for a minute because for many successful women, we're used, especially Black women, right? Let me keep it real. We're on Black Doctor. So especially for Black women, we're used to keeping it moving, right? We don't stop long enough to process what's coming up for us. So tell us some of the signs that would tell us that we're dealing with mom guilt.
Oh, definitely just always feeling guilty when it's time to take care of you, when it's time to focus on whatever you may be pursuing, your business, your career, goals that you had before you became a mom. Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember those? Yeah, you probably packed them away somewhere, but you had goals before becoming a mom. And I think it's one of those just being careful and knowing you still can pursue them and you still can have a healthy relationship with it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we feel like, oh, if I do this, then my kid will feel neglected. If I don't attend every event that my kid has, they're going to feel neglected. Where really, kids just want to be loved.
Right.
And us being present at every single event doesn't necessarily mean that we're loving on them. If our mind is somewhere else too, if we're
Mm-hmm.
texting, if we're bringing up our laptops because we're trying to really do dual things, the
Mm-hmm.
greatest if you can give your kids being present when you're there, but then also taking care of you. Because that's when they're also getting to notice you as their greatest, really, person to look up to. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, mom, what are you doing to take care of you? I know you're telling me to pursue your dreams, your goals, and go after them, and that I can do it. But what about you? Now, the reason why I say that is because my daughter had to check me one day. I was telling her everything she could be, everything she could do. And I would say she was probably like 5 or 6. And she was like, and so can you. And it was like,
Mm. Right.
kids will tell you the truth
Yes, it
and
will.
have you
Yes,
look
it
at it and
will.
you're like, you're right. So why am I going to tell you this and tell you everything that you can be when I could really show you by the things that I do for me as well?
Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. As you were talking, what came in my mind is so this is the same office I've had most of the time I've been married. First, I worked in the kitchen, but that's another show, another episode. Okay. So I've been in this office the whole time. I've pretty much known my bonus children. And I remember one time, I can't remember if it was my daughter or son, bonus daughter or bonus son. One of them said, well, can't Nicole take me because she's at home anyway? Excuse me? You see me working? I'm in here all day long, right? So that let me know that what I didn't do is explain to them and bring them into my world. And I think where so
Mm-hmm.
many moms have a downfall is to not share their goals with their children, like you just said, right? And kids do call you out, baby. Kids are so truthful, right? And real quick, funny story. What also came to my mind is my girlfriend. She's gonna die, so I'm not gonna say her name because she's gonna die. That I'm telling the story. Her son was 7. He's now 22. So just to give you perspective, that was a long time ago. And her husband bought this cute leather outfit, and she puts it on a leather top and some leather pants, and it was white. She said, "Girl, just because it was white, I was taking it back." So she said she tried it on, and her son said, "Oh, mommy, I like your front stomach and your side stomach." So she knew, yeah, I'm taking this back. right? But I'm sharing that because kids are really honest. So they see you doing things. They see you not doing
Hmm.
things. They see you, tired. They see you frustrated. They see all of the things. And if we share it, then what we do is we set them up to win as adults, right?
Yes, yes. And also by you sharing it, what may surprise you is they will become your biggest cheerleader and supporter too.
Mm.
I know with my daughter, when you talk about teenagers, so she's 14, about to be 15. We're about to head to high school. Please pray for me and her.
Not for your for her and for you, right?
But it's one of those, when I started sharing my dreams and goals, when I started talking to her about moms making moves today, it was like, hey, how is this going? What's happening with that? It's one of those, someone else encouraging you to go do it and letting you know that it's okay. I
Yeah.
mean, as you know, with teenagers, they start doing their own thing. As I mentioned, she's headed to high school. So I have, like, what? We really have 4 more years with her in the house. And
Hmm.
then I'm sure she plans to go away to college. I'm
Right.
sure she plans to get out of the house. And so I think sometimes we put so much into our kids and that time and wanting to be that great super mom or super dad or what we think we have to be. And then all of a sudden our kids move on, but we haven't.
And then it's like, what do we do with our lives? By the way, those of you that are here with us, if you have questions, if we're stepping on your toes, if you're dealing with mom guilt, please, while Andre is here, ask the question. Or tell us where you are. Tell us if these are some of the things you're dealing with. Tell us if we're right on your street, in your neighborhood, right up the street, whatever that might mean. So the thing that I also think is interesting is half the time when we, and I'm saying we because it was me too, I had to stop and realize that me feeling like, because at first, let me tell you, I was super mom. I was getting up well, part of me had to do it because I was working my business alongside my daytime job. So I was getting up at 4 a.m. so I could work on my business. And then at 6, I was making them breakfast. But mind you, out there teenagers. So I was like, wait a minute, why am I making them breakfast? Why don't they make their own breakfast? Right? So why not wake them up? I can come back in my office. I can make sure they make their breakfast, right? So I had to start really looking at the story I was telling myself that I had to do these
Right.
things or I'm not being good enough, right? So where do you think that story comes from?
Oh, it's definitely inner. Um, it's inwards, but also it might come from things within our past too,
Hmm.
where you may have been told that you weren't good enough. You may have been told that you couldn't multitask or you shouldn't multitask. Let me say you can multitask on the right things. We have a tendency to want to be all and do all to anybody, everybody, but ourselves. And
Right.
that's where the conflict comes into play. When I said in the beginning, it's like mom guilt is a lie, but however, it is a truth. But it's always lies that we're telling ourselves that we're not good enough. We can't have it all. We can't be a great
Hmm.
mom, have a career, survive and really strive and grow our business, that we can't do that. You
Yeah.
can do it. You may just have to not be able to do everything at the same time. And it's
Right.
okay.
Right. And get
It's
help.
okay.
And get
Right.
help. Listen, when I started telling my bonus children, let me show you how to cook. Okay, let me tell you guys something. What's so funny is, so I started showing them how to cook. And what I would do is buy the bag of food in the grocery store. And, all they do is warm it up on the skillet, but that they were cooking. So I remember going out of town, Andrea, and I put a whole menu on the refrigerator because my husband thinks that French fries and sweet potatoes should be in the same meal. No. Babies will be clogged up, and then you'll be mad because people have to go to the doctor because they're clogged up, right? So literally, so I had to start putting a menu on the fridge and say, eat this meat with this veggie with this starch, right? So what's so funny is one time I got home and I noticed my bonus daughter wrote every time that my husband switched, she'd write, he switched this with this. I mean, she was like telling on him, but what that also taught her was how to prepare meals. And so the
Mhm.
next trip, she said, can I do it? Can you do the menu and then can I be in charge of it? I thought that was so cute. But again, I'm doing it just so I'm making sure they're trying just eating right instead of craziness. And pizza rolls is not a healthy meal husband. But that's kind of stuff he would do if I wasn't at home and I didn't prepare or at least make a menu, right? And
Right.
so it really, to me, I began to see how they began to shift. Even when I was at home, they would do stuff. Even when I wrote my first book, which all you guys know if you've been around me, everything I do is for women. My stepson said, "Can I read your book?" This is before it was published. And when he read it, he said, "Well, why you didn't write this to me? Because I learned some things." I was like, "Well, baby, I never been a man. I didn't know you were gonna learn anything." So I think it's so interesting. So share with us, Andrea, what are some steps? And I'm looking at the question you guys wonder where I'm looking. I have questions here to ask her, right? What are some steps to overcome mom guilt?
Oh, make a list of those necessary things for you.
Now, mind you, she said for you, not for your kids, not for your
Not for your
husband, not for your
kids,
mother-in-law, for
for
you.
you, for you. If it's the simple things of getting your nails done, I started doing that more, and just something like simple. If it's simple of just going outside and going on a walk by yourself,
Mhm.
tell them, I don't have anything against you. I just need this time to myself. Really, writing down the things that you desire, those goals, pulling them out of the closet,
Right.
and most importantly, sharing them with your kids. You might say, okay, I have a little one. Share that with your child. They might not get it completely. However, letting them know what's taking place in your life is so important. And something that Nicole touched on briefly too, help. Whatever it is, you don't have to do it all. You shouldn't do it all. Get
Mhm.
help, whatever that is. When you're making that list of the things that you desire, the things that you want to do, things that, may need to be done within the house, what can you delegate to someone else? What can you delegate, like you said, to your kids?
Mhm.
I noticed for me when I started letting go some of the things that I thought I had to do in the house because no one else could do it like I did it. And then that's really what the issue is.
Mhm.
Maybe they don't have to do it like you did it, but they can take care of it.
Yeah.
I started, really giving certain things that I was like, you know what, baby girl, it's time for you to take this on. And
Mhm.
lo and behold, because she had been watching me do it, she actually could do it. I just never let her. She even had a
Mm.
desire to do it. I
Mm.
just never let her.
Right. That's good. That's so good. As you're saying that, and I know I keep interrupting you, but she's dropping nuggets. Y'all don't even realize it. I'm thinking about that's the same thing that happens in your business. So as your business grows, y'all, she's sharing mom guilt, but the same thing happens CEO guilt. So if you don't learn it
Yes.
in that household, you go learn it in your business. When your business starts to grow, it's called scaling. How do you scale? So even as a mom, if you're going to do more and be more and really follow your goals, how do you scale even the production that happens in your house so you can grow and so your kids can grow? So for me, everybody on my team doesn't do stuff the way I do it. I've had to let that go. Does it get done? Does it get done with excellence? All I care is it excellent? Is it done? Cool. It doesn't have to be done the way I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you trying to
So
do everything just stresses you out.
it does. And when you're trying to do everything, that's when neglect comes in too, or what you
Mm,
think is neglect. Um, because one, you're not meant to do everything.
right,
It, that's
right.
that's not the way God made you.
Right. I'm going to put this comment up. Patricia said, I think, Patricia, what you're saying is my mom drilled that I wasn't good enough because you wrote food enough. You must be hungry, girl. That I wasn't good enough. And here's what I want you to get, Patricia. And this is not just for Patricia, this is for everybody. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let Andrea, I'm going to let you pour into her too. So 9 times out of 10, we have to remember that our moms are women first. They're people before they are our moms, they are women. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of what gets done to you by a parent, by an adult, is something that somebody did to them.
Right.
Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it good. But unfortunately, we all grow up in a world where it's not perfect and things happen to us. So either we heal or we then infect the next person. Hello, coronavirus. We either heal
Yes.
or we infect the next person. But that's really what happens. So for your mom to tell you that you're not good enough really is, whether they say when you have one finger pointed at you, you got four. When I point one finger at somebody else, I got four more pointing back at me. That's probably how she felt about herself.
Mm-hmm. No, that is spot on. I know for me, having a teenage girl,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be extremely careful with what I say to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be, extremely transparent right now. I am learning things that I may have done, in her upbringing. Like, okay, I expect you to get this grades. I expect you to be this type of, yes, I want you to be a kind person, but I don't want someone to take advantage of you. So you got to still make sure that there's some type of balance there.
Right, right.
And then even now where she's sometimes like extremely hard on herself, like
Mm.
on, certain grades. And I'm like, what did I do
Hmm.
to, make her feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's also where the mom guilt kicks in, and it's like, oh my goodness, okay. So me pouring in, me being all in to her, was that too
Hmm.
much? Did I also not give her and time to grow and become herself? Is
Wow.
she who I want her to be?
Mm.
But when does that happen? When I don't have something outside of her.
Yeah.
When you have something outside of your child, then you're there to support them, and that when they leave your house, that they can stand on their own. I mean, yes, they'll come back to you, but you're there to build them and guide them. They're still
Hmm.
who they are,
Hmm.
and
That's
you
good.
still are who you
Who
are.
you are. Hmm.
It's just when you become a parent, whether it's by birth, by bonus, what have you, then you get this new title, but
Yeah.
that doesn't change who you are.
What's interesting is I was watching a sermon probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and it talked about seed time and harvest. And really, what you're doing with your children is there's a seed that gets planted, whether something you said, something somebody else said, something somebody else did, and you either can uproot the weed because it's
Mm-hmm.
not a seed sometimes. Sometimes it's a weed. Sometimes the weed got planted by you. So it's being able to say, listen, baby. And I've had to do this with my bonus children because one time I lost my mind and lost it a little bit. And then I said, okay, I can't let them go back to their mother's house with that because it'd make mess. I'm being honest, right? Because I'm human. As
Right.
long as I'm in this flesh, ask Kirk Franklin. As long as I'm in this flesh, I'm gonna be human, right?
Right.
So those of you that don't know that, Joe, Google Kirk Franklin and his son. But anyway, so as long as I'm in this flesh, I'm human. I'm going to have emotion. So I had to then say, listen, I apologize to you, and then explain what I was feeling and why I was feeling that way. When you do
Mm-hmm.
that, it gives them permission to have a conversation with you that they would have never had with you. And it frees them from the fear to come and talk to you. But I learned it the hard way by making mistakes. I ain't never been no mama, and I got teenagers, right? I'm telling y'all. And when my stepson tell me that he didn't have to do something, I was like, ooh, that Inglewood, California raised up in me. I was like, okay, he's taller than me, Nicole. You can't take him down, right? So I said to my husband, "You better get him before I go there, right?" Because literally, I had to in that moment decide whether I'm going to be have emotion or solution. Because emotion doesn't always come out with a good solution. So do I get emotional in this moment or do I focus on solution? So once I calmed down, we had a great conversation. Because baby, in that moment, that emotion was going to cuss that little boy out. So so with that said, listen, I want Andrea to give you guys. I think you have some more tips, but before she gives her final tips, I want you guys to know this is what she does. So those of you, and a lot of y'all are being shy. You know how I know? Because usually we have way more comments in this. So I know a lot of you guys, this must be a conversation that's stepping on your toes. So I want to encourage you to listen to her podcast. It's there at the bottom of the screen, momsmakingmovestoday.com, and follow her on Instagram because her sole purpose in this life is to hold the space for you to let go of what's holding you back as a mom.
Yeah.
So with that, I know I interrupted you, giving them tips to overcome their guilt. So go ahead, Andrea. Anything else you
No,
want to
you're
share?
fine. I was getting my notes too, because that's the one thing about mom too. You have so many things going in your head. Sometimes you gotta write it down.
Okay.
I was like, I gotta write it
Can I just tell you one other thing? So I'm working on my next book. So I've been researching. Do you know I found out that multitasking was not created for humans? Multitasking came out with computers. And
down.
women do it. Men don't do it as much. Well, they try, but they're not good. Sorry, fellas, but y'all not good at it. So multitasking is really something that was meant for computers, and we have the nerve to try to take it on.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So
So
I have my notes right here because I do want to make sure that I hit on everything that I wanted to share with you all today because it's important. It's important.
mhm,
So we were talking about, what steps can you take to overcome mom guilt?
right.
Ask yourself these three questions. What is important to me? Again, what did I say? What is important to me? Say that to yourself. What is important to me? Not my child, not my husband. What is important to me?
Yeah.
Am I healthy in not only my body, but my mindset right now?
That's good. That's good.
Again, am I healthy not in not only my body, but my mindset?
Because that's where that negative, we were talking about the mother that said, you're not good enough. That was her not being healthy in her mindset,
Yeah.
right? And not healing from a wound of the past. Because we come wounded too. Ain't no such thing
Oh
as a
yes.
perfect mother. They don't give you no manual to be a mother. You just go, boop, here's a baby. Or for me, it's like, you love him, well, here go his kids. It's like, ooh, and then I got an ex-wife and all kind of stuff I got to deal with. Nobody gives you a manual for that. So that's good.
Hmm.
That's good. That's an emotion
And
versus solution too, y'all. That's the mindset piece.
oh yeah. And when we talk about, those generational curses, those things that our parents may have done, they're human too. Remember that?
Hmm.
So everything they did, everything they said, some might have been golden, not all. No one is
Hmm.
receiving an instruction book unless, if you have one, can you send it to me?
Okay.
Because I need a copy on how to be this great parent.
Yeah.
No one received that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
Also, how present am I when I do spend time with my kids?
That's good. That's good.
Why is that so important? Because when you're present, when you're there, when you're not feeling like, oh, I should have done more. Oh, I should be hanging out with them more. You don't have that.
Right. 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 And today they call today the present. Like we're
The
in the
present.
present. So if today's a present, the greatest gift you can give your kids is to be present. That's a
Present.
whole right play on words, but it really is true, right?
So true.
Hmm.
Asking yourself those three questions will, one, let you know, okay, yes, I'm experiencing mom guilt, but it's okay. I can get past this. I
Mm,
can work through this. And as you heard me say today, it doesn't completely go away. It may go away for a time period. However, when it arrives again, what are you going to do? Ask yourself those three questions again. Am I present when I'm with my kids? What is this? Does it happen physically or is it all in my mind? Because a lot of times
mm,
that what is mom guilt is happening up here.
yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Anita says great information. That's good. So again, the three questions are tell them, and I won't interrupt you this time. Say the three again.
No worries. What is important to me? Number one. Two, am I healthy in not only my body, but my mindset right now?
Hmm.
Right now. And when I am with my kids, am I fully present? Fully present. I'll tell you something real quick before we go. Early on, I did a lot of marketing within my career, and I did that for about 7 years. I was handling sponsorships on the weekends, weekdays, nights. I had multiple phones. When I changed that career and I was able to be home more, I looked at my daughter and I was like, so what are we going to do?
Hmm.
Like, what are
Right.
we going to do? Because I had been so used to not, having my phones in there. And she asked me where the phones were because all of that had been put away.
Right.
So, what I say, moms and dads, for those that are listening, the most important gift you can give to your child is one, to take care of you, do for you, pursue your goals, and they will see that taking place in your life. And that's how you pour into them.
That's
And then
good.
when you are with them, be present.
That's good.
And I believe, because I know for me, it has happened, it helps eliminate that guilt. Trust me,
Hmm.
it will come back. But then again, you just reset. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
mom
so
guilt's
good.
real.
It is. So, Andrea, thank you again. You guys see at the bottom of our screen. Follow Andrea for tips and tools on Instagram. And then listen to her podcast. Her podcast is all about moms making moves. So, moms making moves today, not tomorrow,
Today,
not next
not
week, but today.
tomorrow,
Today, right?
not
The
when your kids
present.
are grown. Today.
So, thank you, Andrea, for joining us today. Thank you for those tools. And thank you for all you're doing to hold the space for moms to be all that they're meant to be.
Thank you, Nicole. I love and appreciate you always.
Thank you, girl. So, with that, that's another episode of Bankroll Your Brilliance Thursdays. Listen, if Andrea gave you any value, I want you to go over and follow her on Instagram. Again, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. At Andrea T. McCoy is her handle on Instagram. And then go and subscribe to her podcast, momsmakingmovestoday.com. If this gave you any insight, right? and Leslie says, let me put Leslie's comment up because I see Andrea's still backstage. Listen, she says, no one may give you an instruction booklet, but our experiences of formulating the manual for our children, which is helpful to remember as we parent. More is caught than taught. Come on, more is caught than taught. I like that. So with that said, thank you again, you all, for joining us for another episode of Bankroll Your Brilliance Thursdays. I'm here every Thursday, 12 p.m. EST, 30 minutes of actionable insight to stand fully in your brilliance, the gift that God placed in you, and to make multiple revenue streams from it. I'll see you guys next Thursday for another episode. Have a good rest of your week. Oh, and this is what I forgot to say. If this gave you any value, share it, because there's another mom out there that needs this insight. Click below and share it. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.